Okay. As you can see on your screen, I know you may not be able to read it as the words are a little too small, but I just want to show you an overview of the speaking band descriptors. All right, so we have here fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and lastly, pronunciation. Those are the four grading criteria for your speaking subtest. So we have band 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully nobody gets 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Because as you know, you are enrolled here at Niner Cabanatuan, so we're aiming for a 9. Okay, so, well, it's not doable in an instant, but it's achievable naman through practice, okay? So the reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to show you, probably I'll just post this after the lecture later so that you can read it carefully, okay? I want to show you what are the requirements in order for you to be able to score a band 7, 8, 9. But this is a little bit too detailed, so let's get into a summarized version. Okay, so let's see. Let's categorize your level, all right? So you are most probably going to get an 8 to 9 score if you speak like a native speaker. So if you have a native-like pronunciation, you're most likely effortless. Ibig sabihin nun, when you speak English, I can easily understand you. Okay? Very smooth yung pagbigkas ng mga words, syllables, your intonation, your tone, your pitch, all in all, effortless. Okay? Now, for band 7, 8, these are for advanced level students. Almost like a native like speaker. Like a native speaker. So, yes, naiintindihan pa rin kayo ng mga examiner and ng mga native speakers. There are certain inconsistencies, probably because you are still influenced by your local accent or your dialect accent. I don't know. But might contain inconsistencies, but still you're gonna get a band 7 to 8. All right. Now, for those who are going to get a band 6 to 7, you're a good speaker. It's like generally 80% of what you're saying is understandable. You were able to pronounce them smoothly. Okay naman. Ganon. Ganon yung level band 6 to 7. Now, when it comes to intermediate, medyo madalas na yung inconsistency. So, madalas what's that again? Napapaganon si examiner sa isip niya. Pero hindi ka naman niya sasabihan ng, what's that again? Okay, pero sa isip niya, kunot noo siya, ganon, okay? And then we have band 4 to 5, which is the low level of speaker. Sorry, OMG, I really can't get what you're saying right now, okay? So makakakuha ka pa rin ng 4 to 5. And don't worry, if you simply attend the interview without speaking or without doing much, you can still get a band 3. But then, I don't think that's the score that you would be wanting to get. Because even GT students are aiming for 4 or 4.5. Diba? So nobody wants to get a 3. That's why you're here. You're actually here in the right place so that you can receive coaching. You can receive one-on-one sessions with us so that we can easily distinguish your weaknesses and transform your weaknesses into strengths. Okay? So that's the advantage of you enrolling in a review center. Because, yes, you can get a lot of online sources, but then, will you be given undivided attention every week? Of course not. And then 0 to 5, this is non-English. Alright? So talagang wala na talagang maintindihan. Have you noticed? I even added some corresponding emojis there. Okay, wala lang yun. So now let's talk about the importance of pronunciation. Okay? Pronunciation is very important when it comes to your speaking subtest because pronunciation may hinder comprehension. Okay? Sa maling stress mo pa lang ng certain syllables or certain words and sentences, that could already affect your overall speech. All right? So definitely pronunciation is something that you have to work on if you feel like that's your weakness, okay? And you cannot do that. You cannot achieve that overnight. That's why if you feel like you need a lot of work to do, you should not rush your exam, okay? Take your time. All right, so in IELTS pronunciation band 9, you can say all the 44 sounds accurately. So in English, there are 44 phonemes. Those are the individual sounds, the vowel sounds, and the consonant sounds. We've learned this in kindergarten, right? Or elementary, early years in elementary. But then we need to refresh because sometimes yung nakasanayan na natin all throughout our life, akala natin okay na yon. But apparently it's not, okay? Especially when you're about to take your IELTS exam, speaking. So, you can easily get a band 9 if you can say all 44 sounds easily. Ibig sabihin smooth. Natural pakinggan. Alright? So, it simply means you are effortless to understand. Okay. Kaya ako binigay yung description ng band 9 kasi alam ko namang yun yung ina-aim nating lahat. Band 9. Alright? But again, let me remind you that pronunciation is 25% of your grading criteria in the speaking subtest. We still have grammar and accuracy, lexical resource, fluency, and coherence. So, apat yung mga kailangan yung i-improve pagdating sa speaking. And of course, the content of your answers. Okay. These are the 3 main areas that we're going to talk about today. Let me quickly read them out. Various aspects of voice usage and the steps to improve the quality of one's speaking voice. Because we're actually going to have some practical exercises later, which is so exciting, right? But hindi kayo na-excite, yung mga facial expressions. All right, so causes of poor articulation. Ano nga ba ang mga dahilan kung bakit certain people have poor enunciation, articulation, and pronunciation overall? And lastly, nonverbal communication. Ito na yung pitch, tone, intonation. We will talk all about that, okay? So, first, what is pronunciation? It's the combination of vowel sounds, consonant sounds, syllables, and accents. All right. Effective English skills are a must for professionals who will be working abroad. Who among you are academic students? So we have Sophia. GT? GT kayo? Academic ka din. What band score do you need? Huh? GT ka, GT. Okay, so anyways, it's very important, especially for medical workers. Okay? Because you will be in contact with people, with staff, co-workers, and even patients on a daily basis. That's why, and even hindi sa medical field, yung mga sa, what do you call your field again? Sa tourism field, right? Because you will also be in contact with people every day, right? Vocal skills are components to a successful communication. All right. Why do we say vocal skills are components to a successful communication? Because did you know that actually the way you speak can be acquired? That's the good thing about pronunciation, guys. Hindi siya mental and emotional. It's not something that you have to think analytically or critically. It's a physical practice. Okay? The reason why you are so used to the way you speak right now is because ever since you were born, yan na yung kinagisnan nyo way of pronouncing words, your accent. Okay? It's not easy to retrain your tongue in a certain way, but it's achievable. Okay? Because pronunciation has something to do with your physical effort. Okay? So yun yung kagandahan sa pronunciation. But the thing is, it's not easy for everyone. Okay? There are people with some difficulties because of inborn probably basta inborn yung mga struggles nila, okay? But for normal people, I believe it's achievable. You're trainable, okay? Pwede natin i-retrain yung tongue. And the only way for you to do that is to constantly practice, meaning daily, okay? And if you can afford it, or if you have the luxury of time, you can even have your own coach. Kasi the advantage of having your speaking coach is that you are able to easily distinguish what are the problematic areas of your speech, of your articulation. That's dun lang magpo-focus si coach. But I understand not everyone has the luxury of time. Probably you're juggling work and study or family life, whatever. So we do have your one-on-one coaching sessions every week. Every Thursday, it's already constant. But with me, if I'm here and I have time, I would give more time or slots, okay? Accent, grammar, and comprehension facilitate effective expression and communication. That's why we need to take up pronunciation one lecture in your review, because your accent, your grammar, and comprehension, they holistically affect your expression. Okay? So, iko-coach din namin kayo kung medyo yung tono mo parang pagalit. We will ask you to tone down a little bit or maybe adjust so that we can meet the standards of the examiners, because that's the main goal here, to please the examiners, right? Okay. Saan ko ba nilagay yung ano? Wait lang. Actually,
Kasi cellphone mo, ay kuya.
Okay, before we move forward to the common areas of difficulty, let's first watch a short video. Wait lang. We're gonna watch the International Phoneme Standard, 44 sounds.
Okay.
Let me just connect the Bluetooth, okay?
Saan ba yung cellphone mo? Wala na may cellphone mo eh. Baka sa labas.
Okay, everyone in Zoom, I'm asking for you to all mute your microphones. Wait, it's too loud. Okay, let me just share it for our Zoom participants. Okay. So let's play this video. It's just a 5-minute video. Please pay attention while watching. A facilitator at the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy. You probably already know the... Ay, hindi siya talaga sumasabay. Bakit ganon? Alright, well... Which language has very distinct... Hang on. Naghang. Okay, there. We have her. We have her. So, let's just chill. Wait. Hopefully, sumabay yung bibig niya this time kasi last time, medyo delay eh. So, let's see. Sounds or phonemes that we combine in different ways to make words. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to pronounce each of the individual phonemes. Often, we accidentally add an extra or schwa sound to the end of consonants. If students hear this and imitate it, it may then be reflected in later reading and writing texts. To prevent this, it is important to produce only the phoneme itself without any additional sounds. An example of this is the sound. Sometimes when teachers are trying to emphasize or isolate a phoneme, they say huh. Instead, focus on producing just the phoneme itself. We'll start with the consonant phonemes. You'll see the associated letter or letter combination, also known as a grapheme, on the screen as I say the sound. Ready? Here we go. B as in banana. D as in dinosaur. Alam ko na, guys. I know. I know how to make this faster. I'm just gonna change this. Hala, naka-low quality na nga siya eh. Pero ilo-low quality ko pa siya para at least sumabay yung sound tsaka yung bibig niya, okay? As in guitar. Ayan. Perfect. As in can. As in jelly. As in car. Ooh, as in leaf. As in Monday. As in nail. As in the end of the word sing. As in pumpkin. As in rain. As in sun. As in the middle of treasure. As in turtle. As in volcano. As in watch. As in yo-yo. As in zip. Some graphemes, such as Q and X, are composed of two phonemes. For example, Q makes the sound, and X makes the sound. The next phonemes are considered to be digraphs, where two letters make one sound. As in child. As in shoes. As in the middle of mother. As in third. Make sure students hear you pronounce phonemes correctly. You're modeling the language that they need to independently decode and write words. Just like the consonants, the English language has a wide variety of vowel phonemes with their own distinct sounds. I'll model each sound, and the grapheme will be shown on the screen below. A, as in the first sound in apple. E, as in the first sound in elephant. I, as in the first sound in igloo. A, as in the first sound in octopus. As in the first sound in umbrella. A, as in the middle sound in rain. As in the final sound in saw. E, as in the final sound in tree. I, as in the middle sound in light. O, as in the middle sound in boat. U, as in the first sound in uniform. Oo, as in the middle sound in mood. As in the middle sound in book. Ow, as in the final sound in cow. Oi, as in the final sound in boy. There are also R-controlled vowels, such as R, as in the final sound in car. As in the middle sounds in heard, bird, and serve. Air, as in the final sound in chair. Ear, as in the final sound in spear. Or, as in the middle sound in fork. Sometimes, when a vowel sound is located in the unstressed syllable of a word, it becomes a schwa. An example of this is the that you hear as in the first sound of the word again. Make sure that your students hear you model the correct consonant and vowel phonemes. This will help them produce the correct sounds themselves, and in turn, guide them as they learn to read and write.
Okay. So somehow you were able to refresh your memory of the 44 phonemes in the English language, all right? Some of them are easy, some of them are quite challenging, but the most challenging part is that when you have them all in a word, that's how some individuals commit mistakes in certain words that they are unfamiliar with. So you will only have pronunciation lapses when you're unfamiliar with words, right? That's why one of the key reasons why we do not want you to use highfalutin words in speaking is because sometimes you become uncertain with the way those words are pronounced, which will lead to vocabulary and lexical liability plus pronunciation liability. So double deduction. Okay? All right. So should you practice all the 44 phonemes? Well, if you do have time, please practice those 44 phonemes. Okay? But if you don't have time, only the areas that you need to work on. Okay? So let's continue our lecture. Now that we watched that video, meron ba kayong mga realizations na parang, ganun pala yung tamang pag-articulate or enunciate ng syllable na yun or ng vowel consonant sound na yun. All this time, akala ko the way I used to do it, right? Okay. So, let's talk about the common areas of difficulty. So first of all, not speaking clearly enough. So why are some test takers not speaking clearly enough during the interview? There are many factors that affect you, okay? It could be your timidity, hesitation, or
Hindi mo kasi maisip yung gusto mong sabihin, although you have all the ideas in your mind already, right? So it's very important for you to speak clearly, okay? Audibility, we talked about that last Wednesday. You have to be audible enough so that you can be understood, all right? And if the only way for you to do that is to open your mouth the correct way. Okay? So another reason why Filipinos cannot enunciate English phonemes correctly is because the form of the mouth has a problem. Okay? Kasi medyo bad virtual yawn, okay? It's a virtual interview. Especially if you're gonna take the interview here in the computer room. Okay? So, ano lang siya, webcam lang. Don't worry because hindi siya face-to-face. So, yun. The best way for you to articulate, enunciate words, syllables correctly is the correct formation of your tongue and your mouth. Alright? Alam ko, medyo parang ma'am, nakakaya naman ibuka yung bibig ng, the way native speakers speak. But the thing is, if you want to get that score, you have to do it, okay? Not responding appropriately. So, sometimes appropriate naman yung mga sagot ninyo, tama naman. However, you were not able to pronounce it correctly. Alright? Yung mga simpleng pag-interchange lang ng short and long vowel sounds already make a difference. Yung mga simpleng wrong stress of words, wrong stress of syllables in words, and wrong stress of words in sentences can already affect comprehension. All right? For example, the word tomato. Where do we put the stress? Is it tomato or tomato? Diba? It actually changes the whole meaning of the word when you say, I want to buy some tomatoes, the red ones, the juicy ones. Diba? So parang, what did you just say? Parang gagano na lang si examiner sa'yo. So it's tomato. And the thing about stress in syllables is that if you want to stress certain syllables, you have to unstress the rest of the other syllables to make it correct. Okay, we will learn more about that later. Another common area of difficulty is not sounding confident. Definitely, if you did not practice, you will not be confident at all. Okay? So confidence is something that is acquired and learned through experience. I believe it's always through experience. Because every time you try to do something for the very first time, you wouldn't be confident. Unless talaga, iba yung confidence level mo. Right? So, again, I believe for those people who appear to be confident on the very first time, they're just faking it. Faking it till they make it, and they actually do. But the thing is that we always have that fear. We always have that hesitation within us. So that's why the only way for you to sound confident is through constant training of your English skills. Okay? Mispronouncing words. What a beautiful beach. Beach kasi, okay? So, di ba nga, yung binigay nating example before, I don't know if Sir Kevin gave this example to you, but then, may Pinoy na nakapunta na ng US, and then nagkaroon siya ng mga native friends, like mga US friends. And then, his friends was with their girlfriends at that time. They were all together, and nakarating sila dun sa beach. Sabi ng Pinoy, what a beautiful beach. So, medyo sumama yung loob ng friend niyang American because namali siya ng pagkakaintindi. Are you pertaining to my girlfriend? Are you talking about my girlfriend? No, what I meant was the beach is beautiful. See, pronunciation really matters, right? And I have a story to share with all of you. So before, I think this was back in 2019, I used to work in Quezon City as one of the hosts for Korean students abroad. They would come to the Philippines to study here in the Philippines English. They want to study English. And the only way for them to acquire the native like accent is through studying with Filipino teachers. Kasi tayo na yung may pinaka-neutral na accent among all other Asian countries. That's why they come over here in the Philippines and they study English, and I was one of their hosts. Ako yung nag-handle sa isang group of kids. But then, since trainee pa lang ako that time, inassign ako nung boss namin na sunduin yung mga parents from the airport. Mind you, yung mga kids na Koreans, South Koreans, they're good at speaking English. But their parents, oh my God, zero. Like, hindi sila nakakapagsalita or nakakaintindi. Probably they would just know how to say yes, no. Just super basic words. So, nagpasama sa akin yung isang parent sa supermarket because she wanted to buy a certain thing from the supermarket. Alam niyo ba, muntikan na kaming mag-away because she told me, I wanna go buy, hindi niya sinabi ng straight English pero sabi niya, I want to buy mango pure. And hindi nagsisink in sa akin that time, since first timer pa lang ako, hindi nagsisink in sa akin kung ano yung mango pure at kung bakit ba niya gustong bilhin yun. Apparently, she was looking for mango puree. So, paikot-ikot kami sa supermarket. I think that was around 30 minutes. Umiinit na rin yung ulo ko kasi we can't find what she's looking for. Doon pa lang hinahanap yung mango puree. So, that's why pronunciation could hinder effective communication, all right? Not observing correct grammar, obviously memorizing. Never ever memorize. Because in the beginning, it might sound good, but the examiners, seasoned examiners na to. So, nasa mga 50s or 60s na sila. They know exactly when a test taker has memorized something or not. So, hindi mo sila pwedeng lokohin or hindi ka pwedeng magpanggap na straight yung English mo. Kung sa kalagitnaan naman ng speech mo, barok ka na. Barok, grabe daw sa barok. What I mean is, hindi nga consistent, right? All right, another reason is being disorganized and lacking focus. Okay, how many times do we have to reiterate the fact that your physical condition, your emotional condition, your mental condition can highly affect your performance during the interview? That's why kung ano man yung mga baggages niyo sa buhay, i-resolve niyo muna. Or isantabi muna, okay? Because when you step into this interview room, all you have to do is give your 100% focus. Huwag yung palipad-lipad yung isip at nagde-daydreaming. Ba't kaya sinin lang ako ni crush? Okay. Or iniisip niyo yun ng ghost sa inyo. Grabe naman sa ng ghost. Alright. So, lastly is... Nalipat. Ba't nalipat? Using un-American expressions. Ayan. Ano ba yung mga un-American expressions? Ay, nag-message. Okay, may nag-message siya sa Zoom. Good morning, ma'am. Late po ako. Yung mga late, meron kayong punishment. Mag-isa niyong i-recite yung 44 phonemes. Joke lang. 40. Sino gusto mag-volunteer? Okay, so, yung mga Filipino, number 1 sa mga pinakamaraming un-American expressions. Gumagawa tayo ng sarili nating English culture. Right? Tama ba? Pero meron din naman ng mga ibang lahi. Like, in South Korea, they actually call Konglish, Korean English. Yung tipong English term yon, pero ginagawa nilang, nilo-localize nila. For example, a live-in partner. Nakasanayan na nating tawaging live-in partner, pero totoo nun, if you're living with someone you're not married with, but you have a romantic relationship with, you actually call that person a common law partner, okay? Ano ba yung mga un-American expressions? My bed is so comfortable. Comfortable. Ayun. The stress is in the first syllable. Comfortable. Alright? I'm not saying na mali yung comfortable, but it's just that among native speakers, blending is more important. Okay? Communication is a two-way process, meaning if you want the person to understand what you're saying, you have to make sure that you understand the question first, okay? Because you cannot supply appropriate answers if mali yung interpretation ninyo sa tanong. So, understand the question and then try to answer. If you can't understand what the examiner is asking from you in the beginning, it's okay to ask for repetition. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that. Could you please repeat the question? Or simply say, can you please repeat the question? Just make sure when you're asking for a favor from the examiner that you want to please, you have to be courteous. You have to be polite, okay? We will skip this. Okay, I'll just give a quick overview kasi diniscuss ko na the last Wednesday. So, you have to have knowledge, awareness, and control. All right? For you to have knowledge, you have to make sure that you are updated with current news, what's happening around you, awareness, and control, meaning you know how to filter answers. You know which answers are appropriate to give and which are not. Which answers can you consistently answer and which answers will just put you in a bad situation. Okay? Mistakes in your pronunciation could lead to offense to the listener. Yun nga. Maganda naman yung intention mo, okay? And na-mispronounce mo lang naman talaga yung words. Kaya na-offend mo si listener. And that's something that you cannot afford to do in your interview. Do not ever offend the examiner. Si examiner, pwede kanyang i-offend. Yung pagsusungit ng examiner, nakaka-offend din yon, right? But the thing is, mind over matter. Maybe that's just a strategy for you to not focus during the interview. But again, if you undergo at least 10 coaching sessions with us, definitely kahit anong demeanor ni examiner, you wouldn't mind that because you're prepared, you're confident, you have built confidence by repeatedly attending your one-on-one coaching sessions and repeatedly reading common questions that would come out during your interview. Okay, misunderstanding, definitely. Complete lack of comprehension by the listener. A listener is so exhausted by the effort of trying to interpret what it is you're trying to say that he or she gives up and folds and talks to someone else. So, pag talagang na-frustrate na si examiner, okay, next. Thank you, next. Mga pa-Ariana Grande na lang talaga siya. Thank you, next. Hindi na niya pinatapos yung task 2 tsaka task 3 sa sobrang task 1 pa lang, na-gauge na niya yung level of student. Okay? So we don't want those things to happen, right? That's why we're here. That's why we paid extra for us to, imbes na yung exam fee lang yung babayaran mo, you paid extra for the review fee. For you to be prepared for these kinds of situations. Okay. Now we're gonna put those 44 phonemes into practice. Okay, I want everyone to participate, even those who are in Zoom right now, please participate. You don't need to unmute your microphones, okay? Just follow. Let's start with vowel sounds. Okay. Bank. All right, can you repeat after me? Bank. Tan. Palm. Bar. Stop. Lock. Lake. Break. Net. Kept. Long E vowel sound. Meet. Speak. Okay? Nakikita ko yung mga formation ng bibig nyo right now, hindi kayo humingiti sa long E vowel sound, which is wrong. Kaya nga sinasabi ng photographer, say cheese, because the photographer wants you to smile, alright? That's why long E vowel sound should put a smile on your faces. Again, meet, speak. Alright, there you go. Now, most likely, Filipinos interchange the long E vowel sound and the short I vowel sound. Yung I tsaka E. Alright? So, wit, bit. Alam ko, letter E tsaka E magkasama. Usually, it's supposed to be a long E vowel sound. Pero hindi mo sasabihin, I have been there. Diba? It's I've been there. I've been there. Okay, one more time. Wit. Bean. All right. Try natin i-interchange. Meet. Mit. Yung mit, yun yung nilalagay na parang glove. Okay. Now, long I vowel sound, like. Dine. Glow. So. Core. Core. Wall. Look. Pull. Move. Tool. Bow. Now. Koi. Poise. Ka naman, among. Label. Pencil. Hindi po siya pencil, it's pencil. Can you see how relaxed my mouth is? Pencil. Label. Some. But. Okay. Nakasanayan na po kasi ng mga Pilipino yung pencil, parang ako pencil, di ba? Or spaghetti. It's spaghetti. Spaghetti. Order nga akong spaghetti. Magtatawa ng kapanong pero ganun talaga. If you go to Jollibee US, probably they would just say spaghetti. Alright? Next, we have the sound. Pillar. Teller. Firm. Armor. Pero pag naka-encounter kayo ng British accent sa listening, wala silang R. So, ganito sila. Hila, tella, firm, armor. Di ba ganon? Pero we're following the American native accent, so may R tayo, okay? Next, we have the ch sound. Champ. Champ. Chin. Next, we have the sh. So, magkaiba yung ch at saka sh. Short. Chore. Chevy. So this is what's really confusing because sometimes it's spelled as CH, but it's pronounced as SH, such as the word, the country, Chicago. Chicago. Chevrolet. Okay, next we have P. Most Filipinos interchange F and P sound. So yung P, you have to put your lower, parang you're going to bite your lower lip. P. And then yung P sound naman, your teeth don't need to touch your lips, okay? It's just fill, laugh. Again, laugh. Puro laway na to. Okay, next. Pull. Pit. Hindi po siya feet, it's pit. Okay. Two other consonant sounds that Filipinos would normally interchange is the letter B and V. Well, don't ever ride a white van. It's not a white van, it's a white van. Okay? So magkaiba yun. Kagaya ng letter P, B. No teeth involved. Okay? B. Yung letter V, it's similar with letter F. Only that may vibration. B. Yung F kasi, walang vibration sa throat. P. And then yung V, meron. B. Okay? Best. Bill. Yan.
Mag-open. Dito natin, yung tinuro ko tayo. Then, ito yung 5.
All right. Okay, let's continue. Vibrant. Vet. Okay. Ban. Ban is like they are restricted. They are banned. Okay. Van is the vehicle. Okay. Van. So now we have the TH. Ito, alam ko, kadalasan, ayun na nga po, nagiging letter T, yung TH voiceless. So ito yung voiceless yung walang vibration. So what you have to do is put your tongue in between your upper and lower teeth and produce the sound TH voiceless. Fit. Ang ganito kasi ginagawa niyo, guys. Gumagano kayo. Tink. Magkaiba yun sa think. Try it. Sige, hindi ako titingin. Think. How many brothers do you have? I have 3 brothers. 3. Okay. Look at the form of my mouth again, okay? Th. 3. You're so thoughtful. Okay, nagkanda, bulol-bulol na nga po tayo dito. Okay. See? We need to retrain your tongue kasi nakasanayan natin na 1 + 2 = 3, right? So it's 3. 1 + 2 = 3. 3. Okay, there's a little struggle, but when you get home later tonight, please practice the TH sound, okay? Ito namang voiced TH sound. Ito yung may vibration sa throat. The. You can feel it, right? The. nai-interchange naman to ng most Filipinos with the D consonant sound. So, hindi siya it's the. Can you see the difference? Pag letter D yung ina-articulate ko, my tongue is not sticking out. It's just duh. Duh. Alright? Pero pag PH voiced, it should be my tongue should be in between my upper and lower teeth. The. Brother. Father. Mother. Sasabihin ko sana sister. Hindi pala yun kasali. Alright. That. The. Okay? A little more practice, guys, okay? Again, soft or voiceless TH is think. Path. Bath. Read. And then yung voice TH or yung may vibration, it's that. Mother. Father. Brother. Okay, let's move on to the next set of consonant sounds. R. R. Alam ko yung iba walang R, pero let's try, okay? Roll. Party. Sand. Pass. Zealous. Has. Okay, so there are instances wherein the letter Z does not appear or is not spelled with letter Z. It's spelled with letter S. How do you know that? The only thing you have to do is be accustomed with the different words of English language. And there's another clue. If the letter S is in between two different vowel sounds, it becomes Z. For example, treasure. Or scissors. Can you please hand me the pair of scissors? Scissors. Okay. See tuloy. Scissors. Kaya nyo yan, guys. Nalilito lang kayo right now kasi na-over-stimulate kayo. Okay. Yung Z sound naman, so magkaiba siya sa Z tsaka J. Okay? Can you try to say it? J. Treasure. Occasion. Location. Ay, hindi pala. Occasion. Okay, next we have the J sound. Sometimes it's a G followed by I or E, right? Gel. Giant. Jump. And then itong WH sound, hindi siya hindi ganun na. It's konting buga lang ng H. White. Nowhere. Okay, next we have the NG sound. Bring. Linger. Ano ba minsan nakakalito? Kasi yung mga native speakers, ganito nila i-pronounce. The singer is. Really, they pronounce it like that. They don't say singer, they say singer. So it's so confusing. Anyways, yun na lang na standard, which is okay? All right, now we're gonna practice more. Please repeat after me. We're gonna first do short O sounds, okay? I will read everything, and then later I'm gonna let you do it yourselves, all right? Color. Column, solid. Shopping, conference. Icon, modern. Technology, embossed, revolve. Okay. Now all together. 1, 2, 3, go. Color. Okay. Let's say it one more time. Conference. Hindi siya conference, okay? It's conference. 2 syllables. Conference. At saka, icon. Icon. Okay. Next we have the short A vowel sound. Back. Back. Parallel. Sige na nga, sabay na nga tayo para practice nyo. 1, 2, 3, go. Back. Parallel. Lamp. Stamp. Task. Cash. Slash. Laughter. Answer. Answer. Laptop. Okay, so hindi siya a lang hindi siya a. It's a. Back. Parallel. Lamp. Stamp. Task. Cash. May konting e siya, okay? Alright. Laptop. Now we have the Italian A, which is cargo. So you're gonna drop your jaw a little bit. Cargo. Garage. Palm. Naka-relax lang ha. Palm. Bark. Barge. Park. Arc. Armor. Farm. Harmless. Okay, next we have the schwa sound. Mas subtle tong schwa sound mas relax yung jaw. Courtesy. Courtesy. Funds. Bug. Blurred. Junction. Dozen. Company. Front. Enough. Indulge. Okay, very good. More schwa sound. Tough. Flush. Flood. Glove. Shovel. Natawa ko pati yung intonation ko, nagagaya na din. Multiply. Function. Comfortable. 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 Try natin. Comfortable. Comfortable. Got it. Okay, double. I'd like to order a Spanish latte with double espresso, please. Talagang double shot of espresso yung Spanish latte. All right, next. Troubleshoot. Okay, and here we are with the short A sound again. Hindi ko alam kung bakit hindi nila pinagsama dun sa isa pa no? Kasi andito tayo sa short A. Alright, man. I'm a man. Yon. Pled. Hindi siya played it's pled. Mass. Manner. Manner. Hindi konti. Manner. Yon. Add. Traffic. Fascinated. Companion. Natural. Capacity. Ayun. Okay. Short I vowel sounds. Okay. Will. Midget. Admirable. Akala niyo admirable yun ah. Admirable. Simulation. Forfeit. Forfeit. Hindi siya forfeit. Okay? Forfeit. Forfeit. Relax your relax your mouth, okay? Forfeit. Okay, next. Disc. Give. Sister. Hindi sister. Kamusta ka na, sis? Hindi ganun na. Kasi yung mga Pilipino ganun magsalita. Alright, so it's sister. Trivial. Now we're gonna practice the long E vowel sound. So you have to smile, okay? Season. Season. Ihanda nyo ng mangawit yung panga nyo dito. Delete. Achieve. Sheet. Reason. Technique. Complete. Oh, magkakasubukan sa TH. Three. Three. Immediate. Immediate. Receipt. Anong receipt? Receipt. Just kidding. Okay. Extremist. Extremist. Okay. So practicing nga natin tong. Alright, listen. First is will. Wheel. Will. Wheel. Mit. Meet. Bit. Beat. Okay. Next. Short E vowel sound. Repetitive. 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 Ayun. Maganda yung magkaka-pronounce mo. Parallel. Modern. Fluorescent. Fluorescent. Palitan mo lang yung fluorescent light. So it's fluorescent. Berry. It's berry. Berry. Jeopardize. Jeopardize. Okay, nagkakagulatan tayo. Akala natin buong buhay natin si Leonard ang best friend mo. But it's Leonard. O, di ba? Tapos makasosyal pag Leonard. Leonard lang yun, ma'am eh. Okay, so apparently it's Leonard. Leonard. Adolescent. Ang yung mga Pilipino, adolescent. Teka lang, alam mo, sa totoo lang, minsan nalilito ako dito sa pronunciation ng adolescent. Sometimes, wait lang guys ah. Let's check.
It's a soft schwa sound. Less. Phonetically, it sounds like add a less aunt. Would you like an audio pronunciation or IPA for
adolescent.
The word adolescent.
Tama ako.
has
Tama ako. Chat GPT is key.
Hunt.
Natatawa ako, no? Are you Gen Z? How old are you? 17? You're only oh my God. Wala lang. I feel so old. Kahit 19 ko lang. 19! Because may nabasa akong post. Sabing ganon. Proud ako nakagraduate ako ng walang chat GPT. So apparently, most students nowadays nakaka-survive dahil kay chat GPT, right? I'm also a proud member of those who graduated without the help of chat GPT. Especially on your thesis or your research paper. Okay. So, let's practice. Long A vowel sound. Vacation. Vacation. One more time. Vacation. Elite. Elite. Debris. Ito medyo nakakayod to Vacate. Vacate. Suede. Gabriel. Wafer. Cadence. Humane. Sometimes the letter H is silent, such as the word honest. All right? Humane. Paint. Okay? Long O vowel sound. Gross. Ew. Parang gross. It's so gross. Control. Colon. Modem. Roll. Hindi siya cheese roll. Okay? Yung order ka sa Edna's, sasabihin mo pa, Uber roll nga ako. So, it's cheese roll, Uber roll, okay? Let's get this party rolling. Logo. Quota. Robot. Dosage. Protocol. One more time. Robot. Protocol. Protocol, okay? And now we have the circumflex O, which is a subtle sound of O and relaxed jaw, okay? For feet. Sorry. For fit. Di ba kanina? For fit. Flaw. Flaw. Napaka-relax lang ng jaw mo dyan. Awesome. Yawn. Draw. Call. Halt. Authentic. May narinig ako, authentic. Alright, one more time. Authentic. Authentic. Yung TH sound, th. And then later on the last part, it's t. Authentic. Walnut. Install. Okay. Short U. Brooklyn. Crook. Medyo nakanguso ka dito, okay? So, cook. Took. Book. Look. Would. Would. Should. Good. Push. Hindi siya, good job. Hindi gano'n na. It's good job. Gano'n lang. Di ba ang ganda pakinggan pag, hey, you did such a good job. Hindi siya yung good. Good morning, ma. Ganun kasi nakasanayan natin sa school eh. Alright, long U vowel sound. U. As in, medyo pangusula talaga dito, alright? So, intuitive. Museum.
Cupid. Cupid. Hindi siya coupon, okay? Cupid. Obscure. Improve. Luke. Sewage. Prove. True. Tomb. Silent B. Two. Okay. Before we continue, let's have a short 5-minute break, okay? You can go to the toilet or drink some water if you like. Okay, let's continue. Or probably like do. Hindi na siya natatanggal. Or ganyan. Yan, okay, perfect. So we have the CH sound. Rachel. Which. Teach. Culture. As you can see, some words are not spelled with CH, but have the ch sound, such as culture, furniture, speech, voucher, righteous, spiritual, adventure, picture. Okay. And some words with the CH spelling are not pronounced as ch, they're pronounced as CH, as sh. Chandelier. Chandelier. Chicago. Sachet. Moustache. Chef. Chiffon. Pressure. Ayan, there's an example na hindi SH yung pag-spell, pero SH ang pronunciation. Pressure. Brochure. Chaperone. Charades. Okay. Voiceless TH. Dito na ulit tayo magkakasubuhan sa voiceless tsaka sa voiced TH. So pay attention to how I pronounce the voiceless TH. Worth. Worth. Kailangan natin naka-video call ako sa mga nasa Zoom. So nagpa-practice ba kayo dyan, yung mga nasa Zoom? Hopefully nagpa-practice kayo, guys. Okay. Bakit ako nasa beach? Hello. All right. Baguhin natin yung background. But it appears really dark. Dito na lang. Okay, so let's practice. It's very important for you to pronounce the TH sound correctly. The voiceless TH sound is worth. Theme. Theme. Kung mapapansin nyo, the tongue is in between the upper and lower teeth. Theme. Theme. Nathaniel. South. 13. Elizabeth. 3. Three. Okay, so I know it's a little bit frustrating because sometimes you really can't get the correct pronunciation, but a little practice and patience, okay? So, three. Kailangan kasi medyo palapad yung tongue, alright? And you have to make sure that it's positioned in between your upper and lower teeth. Three. You got it, Sophia, finally. Next we have enthusiastic. Thursday. 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 Something. Something. Okay, now we have the voice TH sound. Hindi siya letter D, so please do not pronounce it as letter D, as consonant sound D. So it's further. The thing is, your tongue is not in between your teeth. That's why you can't properly enunciate the. Okay? Okay, try it. Further. Okay, the. You have to stick out your tongue, seriously. Because if not, nakikita ko kasi yung itsura nyo right now eh. You're not really sticking out your tongue properly. That's why you can't enunciate it well, okay? The. There you go. Then. Breathe. Northern. By the way, I want you to remember that when you're saying south, north, voiceless yun ah. But if you're talking about the direction, it's in the southern part. Northern. Okay? You don't say southern or northern. You say southern and northern. Clothing. Together. Southerner. Leather. Farther. Okay, I still hear a lot of letter D sounds. Okay? So let's try the voiceless and the voice TH sound again. All right? 3, 2, 1, go. Worth. Theme. Nathaniel. South. 13. Elizabeth. 3. Ano? Elizabeth? Okay, one more time. Elizabeth. Ayun. It sounds better now. Okay, next. 3. Enthusiastic. Thursday. See you on Thursday. Ayun, okay. Something. Okay, voice TH. Further. The. Then. Breathe. Northern. Clothing. Together. Southerner. Leather. Farther. Okay. I will turn off my camera now. Okay, so we have letter S. Ito, hindi na ito masyadong challenging, but let's still practice it. Essence. Mass. Listen. Bus. Gas. Juice. Grace. Loose. Magkaiba siya sa loose. Okay? Pag loose, maluwang. It's so loose. Lose is when you lost the game, right? Dosage. Vice. Okay, now letter Z. Likewise. Flimsy. Choose. Business. season, busy, pleasant, visit, deserve, please. Okay. I think this is the last list, okay? Pipe, wipe, lips, beef. Beef ang pagkakarinig ko. Okay, one more time. Beef. Ayun. Ano ulam nyo? Corned beef. Corned beef. F tsaka P, magkaiba yun, guys, ah. Okay. Philosophy. Wife. Lifts. Ito na. Corned beef na talaga. Beef. What's your beef? What does that expression mean? Ibig sabihin nun, ano yung sama ng loob mo? Okay? Beef is like an idiomatic expression, like, ano yung sama ng loob mo sa akin, something like that, okay? Alright, we're done with all the most important vowel and consonant sounds for you to improve your pronunciation. Do you have any questions before we move forward? Good. Because this time, we're gonna put your skills, your pronunciation skills, to the test. All right. Felice Peter, a friend of Peter's, felt Peter thought she taught theology at St. Peter's, but it was Peter Pfeiffer who taught theology at St. Peter's and not Felice Peter. Now, Thelma, thinking Felice taught theology, thought of thanking the latter for teaching theology at St. Peter's, where she took theology 3 times. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to practice it, and then we do it together, okay? So, sa mga nag-practice, please hydrate. At alam kong nakaka-dehydrate yung ginawa natin. Drink water, okay? All right, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Felice, teka lang, umiinom pa siya. Okay, go. I'm gonna give you time to drink. Nakakaubos ng laway no? Ba't ba kasi ito yung pinili ko? Mas maganda kaya to. Later. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Felice Peter, a friend of Peter's, felt Peter thought she taught theology at St. Peter's. But it was Peter Pfeiffer who taught theology at St. Peter's, and not Felice Peter.
No.
Sige, mauna. Pag may period, guys, stop yun na. Now, Thelma, thinking Felice taught theology, thought of thanking the latter for teaching theology at St. Peter's, where she took theology 3 times. Ayan tayo talaga mga Pinoy, mahilig magdagdag. Pag naman, minsan, kinukulang. Okay. This is a fun tongue twister. Sige nga, try natin. How fast can you read this tongue twister without making any mistakes? Yun talaga yung challenge ng tongue twister, guys. For you to be able to pronounce all the words correctly in the fastest speed. So I'm challenging you. Betty Butter had some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter, that would make my batter better. So she bought a bit of butter better than her bitter butter, and she baked it in her batter, and the batter was not bitter. So it was better. Betty Butter bought a bit of better butter. Oh my god. Nakakainis yun. Okay. Now, I want you to practice it. Sa mga nasa Zoom, sino gustong mag-volunteer? Pag nag-volunteer kayo, meron kayong free coaching session with me. Tatawagan ko kayo any time of the day. Come on! Walang mag-volunteer? What if gawin kong Gcash? Gcash? Okay. How about people here sa classroom?
Pwede.
May nagvo-volunteer na oh. Si Victor yata. Victor, are you volunteering?
Yeah.
Ayan,
Hirap dito,
nag-volunteer. Yes? What did you say?
Betty Butter had some butter. But she
Okay,
said,
3. Teka muna. Teka muna. 3, 2, 1, go.
Betty Butter had some butter. But said, she said this butter bitter. If break this bitter butter, I would make butter bitter, but I beat better butter. The wood, the would make my butter better. So, so she bought a bit of butter, better than her bitter butter, and she baked in her butter. And the butter was not bitter, so it was better Betty butter, both a bit better butter.
Okay, good job. Ang masasabi ko, band ito dito, guys. Common band na lang daw. Okay, good job though. Thank you for volunteering, Victor. We appreciate that. Pero wala talagang boat dito. Okay, anyone from the room? Parang feel ko gusto niya, no, ni Jason. Kanina sabi mo, nag-raise ka ng hand kanina, di ba? Just kidding. Alright, so wala bang naglalakas loob dito? Aba, banana this. Naririnig ko, pinagtatawanan si Victor ng mga tao dun sa bahay nila eh. Okay. But that was good. Alright? Okay, so. Sure kayo, ayaw nyo ah. Eto, this is my favorite. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. See, it's so fun! All right. Last one before we move on to the next topic. Practicing nyo lang.
Okay, do we have any volunteers this time? Do we have any volunteers? Okay. In 3, 2, 1, all together. Go. Okay, medyo naman times 2 yung speed niya. Okay, do you wanna go first? Just give it a try. I think you can do it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Wow! Parang you try. Masyado mong ginalingan. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would chuck. Woodchuck could chuck wood. Chucky. Okay. So now we're going to practice proper stress. Okay? You have to remember that the stress of a word depends whether it's a noun or a verb. Okay? For example, the word record. Okay? We have two functions of that word. It functions as a noun, record, and it functions as a verb, record. Always remember, if it's a noun, the stress is on the first syllable, record. If it's a verb, the stress is on the second syllable, record. All right? All right, let's practice. Address, address. Comment, comment. Comment, comment. Hold on, what again? Wait, let's just leave that one. Comment. Conduct, conduct. Conflict, conflicted. Content, I am content. All right? Contest, contest. Digest. Wala nang noun yun. Basta digest lang yun. Digestion. Yun yung noun. Okay? Increase. Insult. Insult. Yung insult, yun yung noun. That was an insult to me. You are insulting. Okay? Insult is a noun. Insult is a verb. That's a second syllable yung stress. Okay? Don't insult me with those words. Okay? Kala naman nito, ang galing kong mag-express ng facial expressions. Anyways, object. Object. All right? Object is the noun, right? Permit. 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 Yun yung noun. Permit is the verb. Present. Present. Progress. Progress. Project. Project. Protest. Protest. Rebel. Rebel.
record, record. Subject, subject. Survey, survey. Suspect, suspect. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, if there's a stress on the first syllable, i-unstress naman yung second syllable. Depending on its function, if it's a noun or a verb, okay? So we also have stress in sentences. Why do we need to stress some words in sentences? Does anybody know or have an answer? Why is it important to put stress in sentences? Well, simply because your intention changes depending on the emphasis that you put or the stress that you add in each word. Okay? Let's read it first and let's put the stress on the first word, I. Okay? Listen carefully. I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. Ibig sabihin, ako, hindi ako yung nagsabi nun. Not me. Okay? Next. I didn't say he stole the money. So yung stress nasa didn't. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi ko sinabi. Alright? I didn't say. Baka kasi yung unang pagkakasi mo, I didn't say he stole the money. What? Akala niya, sabi ko, I did. So it's I didn't, okay? Next. I didn't say he stole the money. I was just asking. I didn't say he stole the money. Can you see how the meaning of the sentence changes just because of changing the stress? Amazing. All right, next. I didn't say he stole the money. I said she. I didn't say he. I said she. Pagbintangan pa, o batid lang ng klase. Okay, this is just an example sentence, guys. All right? Next. I didn't say he stole the money. He probably just borrowed it and put it in his pocket. Just kidding. All right. I didn't say he stole the money. Next. I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. Probably he stole the jewelry or something else. Okay? So those are the different ways on how to stress words in sentences. Okay. Now let's talk about intonation and its importance. So most of you who have already attended my coaching session, I sometimes would say, sorry, you sound monotonous. But if you've attended Sir Kevin's coaching session, he would rather say, you sound so dull. Siniraan si Sir Kevin. No, he's actually really kind. It's just that very straightforward. Okay? So, yeah. Being monotonous would make you sound not interested in what you're saying, and it would actually make you sound dull. Alright? What are examples of being monotonous? Yung iisa lang yung tono mo all throughout the conversation. Alright? Ganito yun. Okay, for example, the question in the interview is, are you into music? What kind of genre are you into? And the test taker would say, yes, I like listening to music. I like Justin Bieber. His songs are very good. His songs make me dance. Medyo mukhang tanga lang, di ba? Alright, so that's being monotonous. It doesn't show that you are trying to change your expressions and you don't sound spontaneous at all, okay? Unlike if you say, Yes, in fact, I love listening to music. The kind of genre that I am into is K-pop. In fact, my favorite boy band is BTS. Are you familiar with Jin or Jungkook? They are so on point when it comes to face cards. O, di ba? Medyo interesting siya pakinggan kasi nga, I keep changing my tone, my intonation, alright? So, there are three kinds of intonations. We have the rising, falling, and circumflex. Let's talk about the rising intonation. This is basically used when you're answering questions with either yes or no. But then you have to remember in IELTS, you can't simply answer a question with a yes or a no. You always have to aim to expound, okay? So, do you like listening to music? Do you like it? Di ba pataas siya? Rising. Are you currently working or studying? Can you please repeat the question? Yun lang naman kasi yung pwede niyong itanong kay examiner. No other questions, there are no other questions allowed to ask rather than the question, could you please repeat the question? Okay? Is it good? Yes. So, again, rising intonation is used when you are asking questions that are answerable by yes and no. Falling intonation is used when you are making declarative sentences. Again, what is a declarative sentence? The one that ends with a period. Okay? So when you're stating facts, or when you're asking questions that are not answerable by yes or no. Would you be interested? Oh, okay, wait. All right. All right, so an example is, how did that happen? How did that happen? Mali pa yung grammar dito. It's how did that happen? Or, I heard you just auditioned for Philippines Got Talent. How was it? How was it? Diba? Falling siya. How was it? Hindi yung, how was it? Okay. How was it? Ganon. Okay. She likes it. She loves it. Bababa. Right? Now, we're going to use the circumflex type of intonation when we are enumerating things or when we are saying a list of things. All right? What do you think you need for your beach essentials? Well, probably I'll be needing sunblock, a towel, my sunglasses, my cash, of course, swimwear, and I'll definitely be needing a photographer, so please come with me. Mga ganun, okay? Or I'm gonna go get something. I'm gonna grab something at the grocery store. Would you want me to buy something for you? Yes, please get some eggs, some apples, a kilogram of brown sugar. Yun yung circumflex, right? When you're enumerating. For example, tinanong ka ng examiner, how many members are you in your family? We are 5 members in the family, including me. I have an older brother, 2 older sisters. Mali. I did the math wrong. It should be 6 members, right? I have an older brother. I have 2 older sisters, my parents, and me. So we're a total of 6 members in the family. Ayun. Okay, any questions about intonation? Good. All right, so now we're going to talk about pitch. When we say pitch, hindi ito yung prutas ha. Peach kasi yun eh, peach. So pitch is how high and how low your voice is. Kung matinis ba or hindi. So you have to practice speaking in a well-modulated voice. Kasi pag masyadong pitchy, it kinda hurts sa pandinig. I used to be very pitchy. Actually, hanggang ngayon naman, may pagka-pitchy talaga ako magsalita. But what I did was, with constant practice, I tried to modulate my voice. Meaning, kinukuha ko siya from my diaphragm. Kasi pag dito lang sa lalamunan, it's gonna hurt after speaking for long hours. That's why it's much better if you get your voice from your diaphragm. So, ano ba yung difference? Okay? For example, hi, can you tell me what your name is? Can you tell me what your complete name is? Are you currently working or studying? Pero kung dito ko lang sa lalamunan kinukuha yung boses ko, hi, are you currently working or studying? O di ba, nakakainis, masyadong OA, right? So there's a difference between using your voice from your diaphragm and using it from your throat only. Okay? Extra high or very high, you can use it when you are exaggerating something. Or when you're saying an exclamatory sentence. Oh, ayan, balik grade school tayo guys ha. Declarative sentence ends with a period and it's supposed to state information. Exclamatory sentences are sentences that end with an exclamation point, usually said when you are exaggerating things or when you are surprised. Wow, our professor is indeed so pretty. What a catastrophe. Yun yung extra high or very high pitch. Yung high naman, yung ano lang, tamang masaya ka lang, alright? Or probably you were a little bit extra energetic. Pero hindi yung OA na OA, okay? Kasi yung extra high, yun yung atik lang. Nanonood ng PBB. Ang OA! Yun yung extra high or very high pitch. Yung high, ito lang yun. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You passed your IELTS exam. Manifestation. Alright? Normal naman yung when you're asking a question. Your classmates, aren't you? Or probably you were late for class, but that's okay. Yung OA naman na high pitch. You're late for class. What's the matter with you? Inawa yung student. Alright. And low pitch, yung chill. Ganito magsalita yung mga nonchalant, very low pitch. Alright, so hindi naman din pwedeng laging low yung pitch. When you're sharing a story about something exciting, syempre, i-animate mo naman yung boses mo ng konti or yung facial expressions mo because, you know, examiners really want to see the genuineness in you. Okay? They want to see na totoo yung story na sinasabi niya, hindi yun invento. Because, you know, they've been encountering thousands of candidates in their lifetime. Only for you to come up with an invented answer and just, you know, nandun ka lang just to get through with the interview. Might as well be there and be genuine. Share your life. Because, you know, examiners can be subjective sometimes. At pag nakuha mo yung kiliti nila, or when you build a good rapport, it could be a sign that you are gonna ace the interview, right? So that's my secret in passing the speaking test, because even though the examiner showed me zero emotions, in fact, sobrang sungit ng itsura niya, but I just smiled all throughout the speaking test. As if I'm not minding her demeanor. I just wanted to share what I wanted to say at that very moment and do the assignment, but at the same time enjoying the moment. Because it's just a 15-minute session, right? Phrasing. Phrasing is very important. When you know proper phrasing, maiiwasan mo din yung dead air during the interview. Okay? Sometimes we don't know the proper phrasing. That's why sometimes we don't know when to put the comma and a period even when we're speaking. So, there are no definite rules. It's just that you have to pay attention with the punctuation marks. And of course, the grouping of phrases. The only way for you to actually get this right is to practice. Okay? So, that's what we're gonna do right now. Let me just adjust this. Parang dapat nandito na siya. Can you see it? Bakit pa kasi ang daming nakakainis? Wait. Alright, so every night, Frank would go down to the liquor store, get a 6-pack, bring it home, and drink it while he watched TV. One night, as he finished his last beer, the doorbell rang. He stumbled to the door and found a 6-foot cockroach standing there. The bug grabbed him by the collar and threw him across the room, then left. Akala mo nakikinig ka ng podcast. The next night, after he finished his 4th beer, the doorbell rang. He walked slowly to the door and found the same 6-foot cockroach standing there. The big bug punched him in the stomach, then left. The next night, after he finished his first beer, the doorbell rang again. The same 6-foot cockroach was standing there. This time, he was kneed in the groin and hit behind the ear as he doubled over in pain. Then the big bug left. The 4th night, Frank didn't drink at all. The doorbell rang. The cockroach was standing there. The bug beat the snot out of Frank and left him in a heap on the living room floor. The following day, Frank went to see his doctor. He explained events of the preceding 4 nights. "What can I do?" he pleaded. "Not much," the doctor replied. "There's just a nasty bug going around." Okay. Practicing nyo muna.
This is so tragic. So remember I was telling you about the accident in SLX? Apparently, my friend on Facebook posted saying that it's her family in that van. Oh my God, that's so tragic. Isa lang nag-survive dun sa van eh. Yung driver lang. Oh my gosh, this is so horrifying. Ang babagets pa nung laman ng van, oh. Oh my gosh, this is... Why? Why is that? Like human survival instinct. Mm. Oh yeah, that's right. It's so tragic. But anyway, let's practice, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Every night, 1, 2, 3, go.
Every night, right? Go down to your store. And it's 6 3 oh, 3 watch TV. One night, that's the greatest snack of the year. The dog there, right? The back, right? This time you are seeing in the that's
Okay, stop. I noticed that magkakaiba kayo ng pauses. Have you noticed it too? All right, that's why you have to be familiarized with the standard. So when there's a comma, automatically there's a pause. Pag may comma, medyo safe pa eh, kasi hindi ka magkakamali sa pauses. But now, how will you know when to stop pag tuloy-tuloy yung words? For example, this part. He stumbled to the door. Ayan, may conjunction. Pag may conjunction or connecting word, that's a hint na pwede ka dun mag-pause. Alright? So he stumbled to the door and found a 6-foot cockroach standing there. So, tapusin niyo muna yung description ng 6-foot cockroach and then standing there. Kasi hindi kayo makakahinga pag tuloy-tuloy yan. And found a 6-foot cockroach standing there. Medyo hindi siya appropriate pakinggan. So, he stumbled to the door and found a 6-foot cockroach standing there. Ayun, diba? And why should you apply proper pauses and phrasing? Because kapag masyadong tuloy-tuloy yung sinasabi mo, you don't allow the person you're talking to process the information that you're saying. Okay? So, you don't sound coherent at all. That's why you have to make sure. What's your favorite food? My favorite food is pizza. In fact, my favorite pizza is pepperoni. I'm a very minimalist kind of person, so I just like pepperoni and some mozzarella cheese on my pizza. That's all. Diba? Because of proper pausing, naintindihan mo yung sinabi ko? Ano yung sinabi ko? Naalala mo ba? My favorite flavor is pepperoni and mozzarella lang. Why? Because I am a minimalist kind of person. See? You remember the bits of information because you allow the person you're talking to process each piece of information. Okay?
Again, the only way for you to get it right is to keep practicing. I am recommending that you access the website that I kept recommending since the very beginning. It's engu.com. It's actually a Japanese website because engu.com is like an English tutorial for Japanese students, but then they've given access to the public the materials that they use in class. And one of them is articles, reading articles, updated news, social issues. They have different categories. It's science, technology, travel, language, all different kinds of categories. And the good thing about that specific website is that bukod dun sa pinaka-reading passage, it also provides an audio recording of how the standard way of reading the passage. So, mahasa yung listening skill nyo. Okay? And apparently, eventually, you can then read it on your own. Okay? If you want me to show you what that website looks like, I can do that. Just give me a sec. Sabi ni Sir Kevin, wag daw mag-share ng materials ng hindi part ng Niner, hindi from Niner Review. Pero wala namang masama dito because it's just an extra material that could help. Okay? So this is it. You just type in engu.com and then you click daily news. And then you can pick a category of your choice. For example, you want travel and lifestyle. So then click on this article over here. And as you can see, it provides vocabulary words with meaning and sample sentences. It also has this reading passage and some discussion questions that would help you, think further. And it has this AI-generated audio, which you can listen to para napapractice ninyo yung proper pauses and phrasing.
Lost and found, the secrets inside unclaimed luggage. When going on holiday, have you ever arrived at your destination, but your suitcase didn't? It happens more often than you might think. Hundreds of thousands of airline passengers' bags are lost, stolen, or damaged every year.
Oh, diba? It's so helpful. Go ahead, use it. It's for free. And the good thing about this is that isa sa mga materials nila, actually, nung unang-unang ginagamit ko tong website na to, wala pa tong IELTS speaking section. But now it does have it. So, if you want to practice some commonly asked questions, you can access these. There are 25 lessons for level 4 and level 6, level 8, and there are also some practice tests here. See? Sobrang helpful. So, yeah, try it out. Yes, the site is for free. So, if ever man hindi ganito yung lumabas sa inyo on your very first trial, pwede kasing ganito lang yung unang makita ninyo eh. For example, we go to Google. And then you type Engu. So, maaring ito yung una nyong makikita, guys. This link. So, at first, hindi mo makikita kung nasan yung materials, but if you scroll down, you're gonna find it here. Or just click see more. All right, there.
Okay? Kasi sabi ko nga, it's a Japanese company that actually helps offer online tutorials. Okay. I-share ko lang sa mga message. $11:34 pa lang. We still have 25 minutes. Are you gonna have a one-on-one coaching? One-on-one coaching? Hindi mo na? Why not? Feel ko kaya mo na. Okay, how about you? Bakit ayaw niyo magpa-coaching? At least once a week, dapat nakakapagpa-coaching kayo, guys. Hindi pa ready. Okay, but the only way for you to to be ready before the exam date is to keep practicing and attending the one-on-one coaching sessions, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the characteristics of an effective voice. First of all, you have to make sure that you're audible enough. Audibility is key, all right? Don't wear a face mask. You don't need to anymore. It's not pandemic anymore. So, before kasi, nung pandemic era, mga naka-face mask, required yun. Kasi interviews were done face-to-face. But this time, you just need to be inside the speaking room, wear the headset, make sure that the microphone is close to your mouth, and of course, adjust your voice. Kung alam mo naman medyo mahina yung boses mo, lakasan mo naman ng konti para naririnig ka. Number 2, be pleasant. Pag sinabi natin pleasant, yung good vibes, yung aura mo, maganda. Alright? And you can simply do that by smiling. You can do that by simply smiling. Alright? And another thing, body language is a way of communication. So when you sit in front of the computer, in front of the examiner, make sure you're not slouching. Make sure you're not ano tawag yun? Kapag crossed arms, I think. It's called crossed arms. Okay? And of course, your voice must sound pleasant. It's not what you say, it's the way you say it. All right? Are you currently working or studying? I'm working. I'm working as an engineer. Diba, medyo stiff yung boses, tapos hindi masyadong pleasant pakinggan. But if you change it, as of now, I'm working as an English teacher. I'm actually juggling 3 different kinds of jobs. One is online teaching, second one is coaching, and the third one is secret. The third one is I handle my own small business. Ganun, okay? Inechos the examiner. Huwag naman ganun, okay? Hindi kayo close and hindi kayo friends, okay? So you have to still maintain professionalism. So you have to find your balance between being casual and professional. All right? Make sure that your voice is well modulated, smooth, and resonant. And yung pitch natin, huwag masyadong mataas kasi wala ka sa classroom, hindi ka teacher. Okay. Next, fluency. Of course, the way you deliver your speech is very important. How smooth, how easy, how effortless you sound. Flexibility. Of course, you have to be flexible. Why? Because when you're flexible, you can handle any topic under the sun. Wala nang pictures to, guys. Okay, let's talk about composure.
Composure refers to how confident you are in speaking. I know that most of you come to this review center with zero confidence. Some are already confident, some mid average, but most zero confidence. Because speaking is actually the area wherein most students are intimidated with. We do have this culture among Filipinos that we are not very communicative individuals, but we have to change the norm because communication is actually key. All right? So be confident. Why should you be intimidated by the IELTS speaking test if the only thing that you're going to do there is talk about yourself? So technically, it's just about you, your ideas. It's not an intelligence test. It doesn't measure how intellectual you are or not. It actually measures your speaking skills. So kung ano meron ka, yun yung ibigay mo, alright? But of course, we're aiming for a good high score. That's why improve yourself. Listen to your coaches. Okay. In order for you to achieve understandability, make sure that you answer questions direct to the point. Huwag paligoy-ligoy, tapos sa bandang dulo yung sagot. First, give your answer and then expound, and then reason out, and then give examples. Okay? Rate. Yung rate ko kasi, it depends actually on how fast the person also speaks. Ina-adjust ko kasi yun eh. So definitely you're gonna be talking to native speakers. So adjust your rate, but also make sure that your message is out there. Allow the person to process what you're saying before you keep on saying something else. May mga tao kasing sobrang nadadala ng emotion or excitement na very talkative to a point na you no longer know when to stop. Okay? As an examiner, it will drag my energy down. It will drag my interest down. Mas gusto kong pakinggan yung sakto lang yung laman ng sagot. Not too short, not too long, but it makes sense, okay? And of course, I hate it when I talk to someone who speaks so fast. Kasi minsan, it actually, when you're speaking too fast, it will actually lead to a lot of pronunciation lapses, right? So make sure that your speaking rate is well adjusted. Okay. That's it. Enunciation. Yun yung kaya mong bigkasin every syllable correctly. But definitely, in English, hindi naman lahat ng syllables kailangan mong i-enunciate. Such as the word comfortable, right? Either you say comfortable or comfortable. Wala namang mali doon. You could say either of the two. But the thing is, kung yun na yung sinabi mo sa una pa lang, if you use comfortable, just be consistent with it. If you use data, not data, just be consistent with it. Huwag yung pabago-bago, okay? Alright, well, that ends our lecture for today. I hope you learned a thing or two. So, thank you so much for your participation, Bernadette, Nikki, Nicole, Nova, Mai, Marian, Victor, na nawala na. Nag-lunch break na siya agad. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you can attend our face-to-face classes. And if not, see you again via Zoom. Do you have any questions, by the way? So your silence is considered no. A no. I'll see you. Bye.